They should not be rewarded by the government for their attempt to overthrow the government. They tried to stop the peaceful transfer of power. They wanted to assassinate the vice president.
Two officers who defended the Capitol on January 6th are suing the government over this so-called anti-weaponization fund. I spoke to one of them.
They assaulted me and my colleagues. They instilled fear and terror in members of Congress, the staff, congressional staff. There's no reason that the government should be giving these people money.
This is the nearly $1.8 billion taxpayer fund, which Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says will provide payouts to people who believe they're victims of weaponization and lawfare from the previous administration. It was created as part of a settlement of President Trump's lawsuit against the IRS and Treasury Department, accusing the agencies of unlawfully allowing a government contractor to leak his tax returns and those of his sons and his company in 2020. The fund, we're told, will be overseen by a 5-member commission appointed by the Attorney General. Government watchdog groups and lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are asking questions. Some are calling it a slush fund. January 6 rioters could likely apply for money, and here's what Vice President J.D. Vance told reporters about whether that includes those who attacked officers.
We don't in the United States say that everybody who's accused of a crime is automatically guilty in a court of public opinion. You've got to actually look at this stuff and figure out, what were they accused of? Maybe they did something bad even, but what they were accused of was way worse of what they actually did. Maybe they had their entire lives ruined in a totally disproportionate way. That's fundamentally illegitimate and political.
What would you say to someone who questions the standing for you and former Officer Dunn, the personal stake that you have in this outcome? What is your personal stake?
Unfortunately, I've been receiving all sorts of threats since January 6, 2021. And even since we announced the lawsuit today, I've received threats, new ones.
What have people been saying since today, the new threats?
Just that I'm about to be taken out of the game. In the past, there have been references that, they're coming to get me on a pale horse, which is a reference to Revelations and death in the Bible. The MPD Intel actually contacted me about that one because they were concerned. There've been more explicit threats to my colleagues, actual assaults on their families, bomb threats at events we attend. And giving these people money would just empower them, give them an incredible amount of resources to further carry out these threats. And since they're not afraid of any legal repercussions because Trump has already pardoned them and made it clear that he has their back no matter what, and they have no ethical qualms about what they do, the only barrier to further violence is resources, which they would have in a great abundance if they were given $1.7 billion.